Looks like one building's up and one building's coming down.
Yeah. They're continuing to do, yeah. So they keep saying any day now they're going to take out the inside of that, the old building, and then they can drop it so that they can take a look at the asbestos that they have to pull off the top of the roof. While that's going on, we're still obviously doing punch lists. Oak Point's now been up to do their punch lists. Siemens has been doing a lot of work with our commissioning agent, and he's been up quite a bit the last 3 or 4 days last week. I think that's moving ahead. But mainly it's punch lists, having Nick O'Day go through and then Oak Point come up and double check it off. And those types of things. As one thing you saw on that, if you saw the update today, not Leland, but Ken Keeler had seen those ramps in the outside of the coolers and the freezers, and we put a new lip on those, which I think is going to be a lot better and a lot safer to get things in and out of the cooler. But we're still going at those items. We have the civil engineer coming up and checking sidewalks and grass and all those types of things. They're going to get going on the baseball field. Hopefully take another look at the football field for some grass and hopefully get going on the baseball field. We've asked them for that to be a priority, even though we're not playing baseball right now. Did you say there's anything else, Lisa, that I missed that's going on? If you could ask about anything specific.
Any receptions to World War II? And President Trump,
I think that's it.
Or even over objections from his own medical experts. President Trump's push to reopen the country has repeatedly been
I'm going to get one.
He pushed back.
Opening our country, people, the schools are going to be open.
The president took issue with Dr. Anthony Fauci's warning Tuesday that there could be a resurgence of the virus to be in danger.
Oh, don't you know that Fox News is dangerous to your health?
There we go. Anything else, Alicia?
No, I think that's it.
Any questions? Seeing none, we'll move on to the Somerset well.
So, did any of you get a chance to look at what I emailed a couple of hours ago?
Yeah.
I can read it if somebody didn't. Read it? No? Yes?
Could you please, because I don't seem to have gotten it.
Okay. So David Brooks is no longer with CES. We have a different engineer, Kurt Bartram, who's working on our project now. He reached out, let me know David wasn't with the firm. We came and looked at Somerset. We also had a communication from Mark from Maine Drinking Water Program. Remember, he's the regulatory agency, about SOC testing, so synthetic organic compounds and cyanide testing that will need to be completed for a new well. He stated that David said that all the testing was done, but really they hadn't completed the list that was required. So we just kind of wanted to know where that was. So Kurt's going to take care of that. Like I said, he came out and looked at Somerset. We talked about the way that we would get water to the school and get it into either a storage container and where it would be treated. And we basically have 3 options, which he's going to probably get into a little bit more than I am. But you have an option of building a building over the well itself. And you'd have to get power to that building, and you'd have to heat it, obviously, because you wouldn't want it to freeze. You could build an addition onto the school, onto that end, or you could take a chunk out of a classroom, which is currently a pre-K classroom. So, like I said, he looked at the building. We don't have space where the water enters the building, so in the entrance, the water entrance, and that wouldn't be a good place for an addition. It's in the corner of the building. So he's going to prepare kind of a next phase plan for us and give you some costs, and then you can make a decision after that. He knows that we've been sitting here waiting for that, so I think we'll see it sooner than later.
Is he going to be at the next meeting?
He said he would absolutely come to our next meeting and answer any questions that you have, because I said there's probably going to be questions.
Too bad he wasn't here today. So do you want us to make a decision on what type of building or addition or classroom destruction?
I think you will have to, but I think we wait for his next step proposal so that you have a little bit more information than what I've just given you.
Okay.
I kind of feel that we've made this decision before. We said to move forward. I mean, that's really where we're at.
Right, but move forward with what? You want to put a building over the well? Do you want to put an addition onto the school? Or do you want to take a chunk out of a classroom to put this storage and water treatment in? Because it needs to go in something, heated and with electricity.
I think we talked about the tank being covered up in some way.
I think so. I know we got slowed down with the guy leaving that we've been dealing with. I'd kind of like to get the proposals, financials, what we're dealing with. I don't really want to take a classroom. I talked to Ellen about that, but it may be the cheapest. Maybe it's building a building over and throwing some type of a heating element in there with electricity. But I think we should get, because we have to treat the water for hardness and continue to have the water tested, I think we should get that information first and have that guy at our next meeting. I know it slows us down a little bit, but.
Is the mechanical in that building the same as at Sebastopol, or is it on the Sebastopol's on the other side, right?
Yeah, it doesn't enter in the same place. The water comes in to Sebastopol in the front of the building, actually. Well, the back, the driveway side, which is the front of the building.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How big does that addition have to be, Lisa?
He's saying it needs to be 10 or 12 feet by 26-ish, 28.
Really, that big?
Yep. Because we have to store water and we have to treat water in it. And you have to store enough water so that when the kids come in from recess, you don't lose pressure or supply. You've got enough. So if they all flush, they can.
Lisa, is there going to be any way to look at the property once we kind of get the estimates of where to go next? Because I'm not super familiar with which part of the building and where and all those fun things.
Stacy, I'll make sure you're in that email. I sent a plan too. It came maybe an hour ago, maybe.
Okay, I did get the email. I'll look back through it.
Hey, Alicia, is that map correct? I thought where it has the pre-K playground, that's the normal playground, I think. That's the older kids' playground. I think the pre-K.
Yeah, I'm sorry. After I wrote that, it's the older kids' playground out back and pre-K's out front. So yes, you're correct.
But I'm not going crazy.
I wrote pre-K, but it's actually the regular playground.
Just making sure I was looking at the map correctly.
Yeah.
Any other questions? So we'll just wait till next month on that one.
If I get information from him, I can send it, sooner than our meeting, obviously.
Sounds good.
One thing I'd really like to make sure we do before we put kids back in there, I'd like to have that water up and running.
That'd be nice. Okay, 1968 Nokomis. Time travel.
I'll tell you what I sent you, and then if you have questions, you can let me know. So Ryan, who isn't here tonight, right? Came in and signed warrants and noticed that we had paid Condon Electric more than what they had estimated. They had estimated originally for the work that they were going to do there. And that is true. We ended up having them demo some lights in a classroom that we put a new wall in. They had to do some heating controls, or an electrician had to. And instead of having A.E. Robinson hire one, we had him do it because he was just there. We didn't have to pay a markup on that. He pulled some wires to some transformers, which is also heat related, and tied them into a box. Got the heaters running that were in the shop areas and ran conduit for that, and for the condensation pump and tank that is the water supply that's feeding the existing boiler. So it was work that nobody had kind of on their radar, and we needed it done to get the heat going. So we just had them do it.
Was there a change order issued for it?
We didn't do a contract with them. I mean, they gave us an estimate and we accepted it. So it was kind of like a material and labor ad, if you will. And then I sent an Excel sheet which shows you what we've paid to date, what we have left to pay, and then some estimated items that we're going to try to get done here within the next month or two that will all equal around 142,000 of your 150. And that's if everything goes smooth again.
So where are we sitting on the wing right now when we get this 150 done?
What do you mean? Like what else will have to be done?
What will the status of that wing be after this 142,336 is taken care of?
So there are more than 5 doors that we'll have to replace to make it fireproof. Let me pull that up. Hang on a minute. There's some life safety items that we're going to have to address. Where are you?
Leisha, do we know what are those doors roughly? What that's going to cost?
We estimated reinstalling. We took 5 fire rated doors out of the east wing, and we're going to reinstall those into the wing, but there are more than 5 doors that we have to replace, so I don't know right now. I'm going to try to get as much done as I can with the money that you've authorized. I think that would make sense. Joe and I have been keeping an eye on those numbers, so.
Bill, we've also recently gotten some different numbers, or I don't know if they're different numbers, but more accurate scope of the work through Nick O'Day to block off the building once they take that down. So I think once they take that down and they build our building in, seal it off and do that groundwork, we'll get a better understanding of what we need to do. I mean, we have one classroom that we're going to put Suzanne in because she needs to get out of Josh's office. We got to start making the decision. We'll get our office up there. Is JROTC going to take some of the space for their shooting range and those types of things? But and then get ready if we're going to sell our office or when we're going to sell our office, that money, to renovate or do what we need to do. This first phase is just getting it heated and the water. Once they take down the rest of the building, they can reattach our water for us. We're banking on that coming through the project now, not having to put much into water, but it's kind of like getting it sealed off in hours and separate from whatever Nick O'Day's doing and Oak Point are doing, and then reassessing phase 2. But at least we have heat and hot water. We'll have heat and water and sewer and all that.
Did you say ROTC is going to put a shooting range in that building?
Well, that's a whole other conversation. I mean, they have no place that they can shoot now. And they can shoot in the old shop area if we're not using it in the fall, in the fall temporarily. They have another idea to build another building, and that's a whole other conversation that we haven't brought to you because they're going to do some fundraising on their end.
Where were they shooting before?
I think they shot in either the cafeteria or the old shop area where they also built the sets, if I'm not mistaken, Alicia.
Yeah, I'm not really sure.
I don't know.
For guns.
They have pellet guns.
Oh.
Back in the day, I think you had 22s.
Yeah. I'm surprised they even allowed pellet guns in the school.
Well, for military training, I'm sure they have their releases.
Everybody bring your own gun.
That answer your question, Bill?
It does. It's been so long since we've really taken a look at this. I kind of wanted to get back to where we were, so.
I think we're getting pretty close. I mean, I want to start cleaning it up. We need to we got to get Suzanne in there. We thought about early childhood, but I think Mary's going to take another classroom from the second floor, which is fine. And then we also want to continue to put either, continue to have alternative ed go over there and use it. If phys ed wants to use it, I think a lot of people are going to use it. And then obviously our office. We kind of got. I want to really kind of waiting for this break from Nick O'Day and that project being done and what they're going to offer us. I mean, the project is paying for the wall to be built, the ramp to be reconstructed, some of the doors on the outside, and then, like I said, Alicia's working on getting fire-rated materials and life safety stuff up to par, and we'll know better where we need to go next.
Okay.
Any other questions about the wing we're saving? No.
Hey, Mike, I got one more question.
Sure.
It's silly, but
No, forget it.
when we sell central office and we get the money for that, are we going to be allowed to throw that right back into the capital projects fund, or is that going to have to go into the regular budget? Do you know?
Well, I think if you have a surplus that year in unintended revenue, you'll probably be able to say we want to, we'll be balanced and we'll put it back in the capital reserve, or take some of it that you received and put it back into the building. We'll check. But I think you're going to need surplus to put wherever you want, or use some of it.
I was just kind of thinking, because I think we intended for that money to go towards the wing to keep the cost down.
Yes.
Then I'm thinking about that. Can we actually do that? Is money going to be coming in? It's probably going to have to go into the regular budget. That's the only thing I'm afraid. We may have to take a couple of steps to get it back there.
I'll check with Bill, Stockmeyer, and Joe how we're going to do that.
Yeah, I mean, we got ways to worry about it, but it just popped in my head.
Sounds like a finance committee question.
It is.
Okay. So, anyone got anything else? If not, we can adjourn. Point one.
This is still my favorite committee. Don't tell anybody else.
Point twice. Good night, everybody.
Quick meetings. Everybody gets along.